convenient homeless man approached Barron Trump asking for just $1. No one could have predicted what would unfold. What began as a simple request for help would ignite a national movement, reunite a fractured family, and transform lives in ways no one saw coming. Then, for instance, Barron Trump disappeared and Monica Olarnati Tommy, Cleveland, Ohio, was alive with the hustle and bustle of a typical city day. Cars honked, pedestrians swerved through traffic, and conversations hummed in the air. On the corner of Broad Street and 17th Avenue, a man sat slumped against the wall of an aging convenience store. His clothes, thin and worn, barely shielded him from the harsh winter chill. Beside him, a cardboard sign read his name was Leonard, though few cared to know it. At 42, Leonard had been living on the streets for nearly a year, his life shattered by a series of unfortunate events. Every day was a gamble. Sometimes passers-by would toss him a few coins, but more often they hurried past, eyes averted. Leonard adjusted his beanie, shivering against the cold, his gaze following the different shoes that passed him. High heels, sneakers, polished loafers. And then, out of the corner of his eye, he noticed something unusual. A pair of pristine white sneakers halted just feet away. These weren't just any shoes. They were expensive. The kind worn by someone young and privileged. Leonard's curiosity piqued, and he looked up. Standing there was a teenager, tall, composed, his hands casually tucked into the pockets of a sleek jacket. Leonard squinted against the sunlight, trying to place the name of the face. The boy stood at the corner, scrolling through his phone, unaware of the attention he was drawing. People around them whispered, some even pulling out their phones to snap pictures. Leonard hesitated. He wasn't one to approach anyone unless they made eye contact. But something about the boy's calm demeanor was different. He wasn't rushing. There was an air of quiet observation. Taking a breath, Leonard spoke up, his voice cracked from the cold. The boy froze, his head tilting slightly, as if to confirm he had heard correctly. Slowly, he turned to face Leonard, his expression unreadable. For a moment, time seemed to slow. Leonard braced himself for rejection. But what happened next was anything but ordinary. "What do you need it for?" the boy asked, his voice calm but firm. The question caught Leonard off guard. "Well," he began, rubbing his hands together for warmth. "A cup of coffee would be nice. Maybe a sandwich if I'm lucky." His voice faltered, but there was no judgment in the boy's tone, just curiosity. The boy stepped closer, his phone now forgotten in his pocket. Leonard could feel the weight of the crowd's stares, the silent judgment of people questioning why a young man like this would bother with someone like him. "What's your name?" the boy asked. "Leonard?" "Za?" The boy nodded, brow furrowing, as though processing something deeper than just this encounter. "I'm Barron," he said simply. No arrogance, just sincerity. The hum of the city returned, but something about that exchange felt different. The air between them was charged, as if this brief moment would lead to something greater. "Hey!" Leonard shifted uncomfortably on the cold pavement, unsure how to respond. Barron crouched down to meet him at eye level, a move that startled Leonard, who had never had anyone treat him as an equal. "How long have you been out here?" Barron asked. Leonard hesitated, unsure how to share his story, but there was something disarming about Barron's presence. "Almost a year," Leonard admitted. "Lost my job when the plant shut down. Then my health got worse. Couldn't keep up with rent. It's been downhill ever since." Barron listened intently, his eyes narrowing, not with judgment, but focus, as though he was trying to piece together a puzzle. "What about family?" Barron asked. Leonard's jaw tightened. "Don't have much left. My folks passed years ago. My brother, we haven't talked in ages." He chuckled bitterly. "Not much left to lose when you've lost it all." Barron was quiet for a moment. Then, without breaking eye contact, he reached into his pocket. Leonard's pulse quickened. He had only asked for $1. But Barron's hand didn't come out with just a bill. It emerged holding a crisp $100 note. Leonard blinked in disbelief. "Are you serious?" he finally asked, his voice cracking. "Why would you do that?" Barron shrugged. "Because I can." Before Leonard could respond, Barron leaned in closer. "But listen," he said, his voice softening. "This isn't just about the money. I want you to promise me something." Leonard, holding the $100 note as though it might disappear, asked, "What's that?" "If I help you today," Barron said, "you got to help yourself tomorrow." "Deal?" said Galar aside too. The words hit harder than Leonard expected. For the first time in years, someone wasn't just offering him charity. They were challenging him to improve his life. Leonard nodded, speechless. Barron stood up, glancing around at the gathering crowd. Leonard could feel the eyes on him, some recording the moment, some whispering. Leonard's hands trembled as he unfolded the note. It was the address of a local shelter and resource center, one he had heard of but never visited. "I'll make sure they're expecting you," Barron added. "Ah, what's this?" said Leon. Leonard stood there, clutching the note and the money, feeling something he hadn't in a long time. Hope. For the first time in years, he felt the possibility of change. As the morning came, Leonard found himself at the address Barron had given him, Hope Outreach Resource Center. Inside, a receptionist greeted him with a smile, and soon Leonard found himself in a meeting with a caseworker who outlined a plan to help him get back on his feet. He was given a bed, set up for a doctor's appointment, and connected to a job training program. For the first time, as a Chakuchkar establishment started training, talked to us and his friends, and paid their debts in the way what neither he nor Barron could have anticipated. was the viral impact their interaction would have. The video of their encounter spread rapidly across social media, sparking debates about kindness and privilege. But it also inspired others to reach out and donate, enduring to the West Center, creating a ripple effect of generosity. As Leonard's story spread, his focus remained on his journey. Slowly, things began to change. He was working on himself, attending counseling, and starting to believe in the possibility of a better future. And then, something even more unexpected happened. His estranged brother Paul reached out, moved by the video. The two brothers, separated for years, began to rebuild their relationship. Though Leonard's journey was far from over, he no longer saw his story as one of failure. It was one of resilience, ignited by the kindness of a stranger who had not only offered him money, but had given him a chance at redemption.